Hello, and welcome to this Filmmaker's commentary on Mr Wifi. This was a little comedy piece that we made back in the... Well, it was a bit weird actually, because we had this short little 2-week project to be made in between the first project, so Joe, between that and finishing the first year of sixth form. So we had this little kind of creative project to make in that time period, which was then going to be shown at the BFI IMAX, because our college somehow rented it out for the whole of film production and media production in those subjects, to show off some of their stuff on the big screen, which was very, very, very cool. And then also we were to watch How to Train Your Dragon 2 after that. So maybe the film choice wasn't as cool to view after this, but yeah, it was a good experience. And this was a good, funny little movie to make for that, and I think it still holds up today, which is quite cool. So Mr Wifi is about a sort of a humanised version of how rubbish and how crap our college campus Wi-Fi was. It would drop out all the time, and connectivity to it was just rubbish. It was the worst, despite the technicians always trying to improve it and everything. But we decided to make this little short film about how this humanised version of the Wi-Fi was so depressed at the fact that he couldn't do his job properly, and how he was dealing with all of this. So there was a crew of 3 of us. So myself, Sam, hello. Once again, fellow filmmaker George and fellow filmmaker James. We all came together to make this. And as you can see, I starred as the titular character himself. And in terms of sort of role responsibilities, kind of, well, acting for me, but obviously James and George took control of camera. James did editing, I believe, and myself and George came up with the dialogue for the robot voice you can hear as the character Mr Wifi. And this is where we kind of wanted to get creative, because obviously this is the first project for me and George. I can't speak for James, but where we were using dialogue, not even recorded through normal means. We had a laptop. Once we'd filmed some stuff, we had the ideas for some of the sketches, like the slow walking Mr Wi-Fi for the connectivity speed, and being trapped in the college campus because his Wi-Fi wouldn't let him leave. But we had a laptop and found this American voiced sort of robot thing that we could just type in whatever dialogue we wanted and recorded it through the laptop, which was just a fantastic thing to play around with. There's so much dialogue that probably we didn't use because we were just messing about with it so much. But yeah, that's just kind of like, yeah, as I said, we had these sketches. So like here, we wanted Mr Wi-Fi to finally have like a new, I don't know what we would call it really, a new router, a new extra connection to be happy with. But technical difficulties meant that she was unplugged, which is quite dark. But then we also have this cameo at the end here. Very much, only people from the film production and media production lot would understand, but that was our sort of technician who dealt with all that in our film block, dealt with all the equipment issues and all the computer issues, so we had him as our cameo to plug back in the extra connection. But yeah, as you can see with the costume for Mr Wi-Fi, I did feel quite silly wearing it around campus because obviously our lecturers would just say, right, now's your time to be creative, you can make this now, so go out and film whatever you can. And obviously all the other students on campus who are just going about their daily student lives are seeing this guy dressed as a giant blue man with an antenna stuck to his head and an Ethernet cable stuck to his bum. So I did feel a bit ridiculous walking around, but at the same time, that's just kind of the vibe that the film was going for. This weird character. It's very weird watching it back, and how good it still holds up today, I think. But yeah, it's just even this part here, we managed to write in a dick joke, pretty much.
Caused my antenna to grow.
And other ideas that were going to be what kind of leading up to this, we had ideas about like a student who was who had to print something out across campus, and he didn't realise he was sending his document to the wrong printer. So we were going to have this action sequence sort of short film where this student had to run across campus to get to his newly printed document, or another one where he's run out of printing credit and he's trying to somehow navigate around that, trying to bribe people and all that. But I think we settled on the right idea with Mr Wifi, really, with this costume we found in the drama department. It was a bit tight, if I remember correctly, wearing it. And the equipment we used was pretty basic as well. So like with Joe in the last video you saw on the channel, we used a 550D DSLR. I believe we just used the same setup again. We had a couple of fig rigs and tripods, obviously, but nothing to record on-set dialogue or external lighting. We were just using natural lighting and lighting from indoor facilities like hallways and dining rooms and classrooms and all that. So yeah, again, it was a bit much of a run and gun sort of shooting schedule, really. You're just walking around campus, seeing where would be good to film, and telling other students in the areas that don't worry, this is not something that you see every day, we know, but we're making a little short film project. I particularly like this shot where we've got all these Chromebooks open, and Mr Wifi is lying on the floor, overwhelmed with the connection, and then we get the new connection in. It's so ridiculous, but it's just a good. I can't say enough how good I like this little comedy. But yes, that is Mr Wifi. Yeah, still holds up today in my opinion. Is very much an in-joke for a lot of people who went to the college, but there's something for other people to laugh about. So thank you for listening to this commentary on Mr Wifi. Stay tuned for the next one, which will be Obsession of an Evil Mind. Thank you. Bye.